Hello everyone, this is Red Dude. What did your crush do that completely ruined your infatuation for them? NSFW. Not listening whenever I would share a hobby of mine, but insisting me into listening to theirs. Tried to pour vodka into my drink when I wasn't looking. Participated in the murder of a homeless man. Met a girl on a dating app. She wanted to meet at a club near me. I suggested coffee but whatever. Show up and she's talking to a guy. Say hi. Learn she invited us both to see which she'd prefer and watch us compete. We both say, fuck that. I buy him a beer and we both go back over to my friends and hang out. Cool dude. This girl I had a crush on early on in high school told me that she recently broke up with her last BF because his dad passed away suddenly and, as she put it, wouldn't stop being depressed and a fucking crybaby about it. I didn't talk to her much again after she said that. Reminds me of a Yahoo Answers entry. A, most likely teenage, boy was complaining that his GF wouldn't stop crying about her recently deceased father. According to him, it was getting in the way of introducing anal in the relationship. I miss him so much so no anal. She mentioned her last name. I recognized it. Haha. It's probably a good thing. Found out her grandmother was my grandfather's older sister. It worked out okay. We were on a double date sorta deal with her friend and my friend. We found that out pretty early in the night. We literally laughed our asses off for 15 minutes, making incest jokes and traded dates. I ended up dating her friend for about 4 years. We had been going out for a few weeks and on the way home from a party, we went to get McDonald's and he paid for me. I have an allergy and they got my order wrong. I asked and it wasn't a problem, they made me a new burger and told me to keep the incorrect one as they couldn't resell it. I offered it to him, he didn't want it so I said I would just bring it home to give to my housemate so it wouldn't go to waste. He was completely fine with this. Then a homeless guy came in and started asking at the tables for change. I offered him the burger and he took it. My date went crazy at me for giving away the burger that he had paid for, even though he was okay with me giving it to my housemate. And followed the homeless man, shouting at him to give it back. Then got the guy kicked out of the restaurant. It was terrifying. He went from easygoing and charming to furious in a split second. Then when he sat down again, he acted like everything was normal and asked me if I wanted to go home with him. That was a side of him I hadn't seen before. I'm glad he showed his true colors early. That's scary and bizarre for him to just flip like that. Reminds me of that guy Ben Stiller played who Rachel dates in one episode of Friends, who would randomly go mental and scream at people over almost nothing, then be completely calm after. When I was 17 at my first year at uni I made friends with a girl in my year, it wasn't like instant crush, but she was funny and I grew to like her. One day we were going home after classes together, turns out we lived pretty close to each other, chatting and joking. And at one moment she says. I really like talking to you just about anything, I would have jumped you right now if you weren't so ugly. I was a really awkward teenager. Severely underweight, skin problems and some other complexes. On top of that very introverted so it outright killed my remained self-esteem. Thing is that she actually didn't realize the effect of her words, it was like a passing comment to her and wasn't said with malicious intent. That fact actually made these words even more hurtful. We went somewhere and she and her friends pulled into all 3 handicapped parking spaces. There were plenty of other spots, but these were the closest. None of them were handicapped in any way. Everyone does it, she said. No, they do not. I figured out he was dating me and 2 other girls and playing each other against us. One night at a party one of the other girls wanted to fight. Honestly I was drunk and tired and was getting in my friend's car to leave when she tried to start a fight with me over him. I just said tell your friends we got in a fight and you won. Also, you can have him. I got in the car and went home to bed. That was the day I decided I would never fight over a guy. If he wants to be with me he will be with me. Noticed an attractive woman a few times at a local hangout spot. One evening we struck up a conversation. This led to a series of casual hookups. We'd usually meet somewhere, which kept it light and casual. One night she invited me to her place. Pretty quickly I realized that this was the home of a married couple pictures, etc. I asked if she was married and she said yes, but it was okay because he was out of town on a fishing trip. I'm not a saint, but it really bothered me because I didn't consent to have an affair with a married woman. I noped out of there and didn't look back. Started seeing a girl somewhat recently that works in the same industry as I do and hadn't dated in some time. Initially there were no red flags at all and things were going great. Felt like everything in life was breaking my way for once. Fast forward to a few months later and completely out of nowhere she accuses me of hacking into her devices. She then thinks that a speaker that I gave her when I was cleaning out some of my old stuff was listening in on her. I realize she has some serious paranoid delusions and mental health issues. I take this into account and choose to still be friends with her because I know she needs some good people in her life. I know she can't help the way she is, and I really don't want to just cut her off because of mental health issues she can't control. Fast forward to a few days ago, and I get a call from the local police that she reported me for stalking, breaking and entering, and cyber harassment. I have literally not been to her apartment in several weeks at this point. So, I explained the situation to the officer that called me and tell them she needs to seek some mental health treatment. I haven't made an attempt to contact her since and will be filing a restraining order against her if she continues to try to disrupt my life. I hope she gets the help she needs, but when you're dealing with someone who is legit crazy and that doesn't have a solid support network, that is usually not the case. We had made plans for Halloween. We were supposed to go to a club and meet some friends. She ended up saying she was sick and stayed home. About a week later, I'm going to drop her off at her house and she told me what she really did on Halloween. She went to a different club with her friends, not ours. There was plenty of other issues in the relationship, but that one truth is what made me snap. I just dropped her off without saying anything and a few days later broke up with her. I don't think she even cheated, just too much lying and manipulation. This video's featured comment is from Macy. I don't really keep secrets. I've always been way too honest. I've lost a lot of my family, majority, because they are SHT people who do really bad things, so I just told them exactly what I thought of them. Am I sorry? Nope. It can be lonely around the holidays when more people would be fun, but honestly, with family like I've got, who needs enemies? I'll give you 2 examples of many. Because my mom was very abusive when I was younger and really mentally unstable, I wanted to foster abused children in my home when I married young. Because we purchased a big farmhouse with extra rooms, I would have been barely 20 at the time of fostering. Some of the kids were different races than white like we are. My whole family turned against me for sheltering little kids of different races. I was cut off from seeing underage cousins I was close to because they didn't want their kids around other races. Yurka, go figure. My grandma called me and told me I could end all of this drama by getting rid of the children. Getting rid of children who needed help. That it upset her and my grandpa that I was breaking up the family over outsiders. I should choose my family. They wanted to enjoy their lives before they died, and peace was essential. I told her that they should be worried, considering they were so close to meeting God, that their SHT cold hearts might get them banned from the good place. Just something to think about before you go, grandma. All of you. I choose the kids, at least they are innocent and have the better hearts and souls. They never hurt me like family does. She hung up. I was glad. We barely spoke again for the rest of our lives, and I liked it that way. Better for us both, quite frankly. Oh, and her favorite daughter is a total whore who cheats on her husband with anyone she can get. She's stolen siblings' partners. Ruined the life of a childhood best friend by screwing her husband when she was away working and their kids were at school, and the poor woman was so broken that she never dated or married ever again. She tried to seduce my teenage boyfriend, now husband, by appearing at her door, knowing we were stopping by to pick something up. How? She opened the door wearing a literal see-through negligee. Not joking. She was old enough to be his mom, and he was so embarrassed and shocked that he turned away and wouldn't look back at her. She slept with everyone in her husband's work department and everyone knows but him. I'm sure he's the office laughingstock. I'd tell him, but he already forgave her twice for cheating the 2 times he caught her with men she met with for sex for an extended period of time, so they weren't one-time indiscretions. At some point you can't even feel sorry for him anymore. He should know better. This is the gist of what my family is like, guys. Full of hatred, fear, dishonesty, hidden affairs, backstabbing, no morals, etc. So no secrets for me. Nope. I'd rather be honest and forthright and be able to hold my head up high with zero shame. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, consider checking out my other content.